beat.
Big homie D.
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, DMTS Radio. You feel me? I gotta get this interview popping, man.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate y'all tuning in and all that, man. Make sure y'all tune in for the community going on, big things going on in the brand with DMTS Radio. We'll be in touch. Interview from Chill Shump coming soon.
All right, welcome to DMTS Radio. Streets wanna know. I'm here with the boy Chill Shump. Today we're gonna have a good interview. Before we get the interview started, though, I wanted to say, Aisha, we praying for you. Everybody, you already know. Everybody holding it down at the radio station. We waiting for you to come back. Blessings up to you and your family. Hold it down. You know, Chill Shump. I don't know if you know, you don't know. This dude been real successful. I know this cat for a long time. He lived in my backyard for forever.
Yeah.
We went way back, did some shit that's noted and some shit that's not noted, but we don't need to get into that. But anyway, we gotta have a great interview, and you know, first things first is I want everybody to get to know him, get to know a little bit about him. If you don't know, if you do know, get more in depth with what's going on with him. So first question I wanted to ask you is, you know, what's your background? Where did you get started at? Like, how did you even get into this music situation or doing this whole thing ordeal, you know?
I guess you could take it back to probably when I was about 12, 13 years old. I was playing drums at the time for the Elks Club, for the drill team actually, and that kind of grown within time into me producing. But I didn't even, like, at the time, in the moment, I didn't even think that producing or like actually, you know, using technology as far as like, you know, making music and, you know, was where I was gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It happened kind of random and it kind of fell right into my lap. My brother's boy came to my house. I was living on Cherry Street at the time with a demo program of Fruity Loops, which is like, for those who don't know who Fruity Loops is, it's originally like your starter's program to make beats. So, give or take, it's probably maybe like 10 or 11 years ago, he gave it to me and just like, yo man, this is what you use to make beats with, you know. He gave me the quick basic rundown, but I was hooked instantly, you know what I mean? So, that instantly gave me to a love, and then I want to say probably when I got out of high school, I just started taking it more serious, and good things started happening later on down the line.
Yeah, and you used to do some stuff with your brother's group and all that.
Yeah, the Autobots, man. Big shout out, man. Those are the brothers over there, man.
Yeah.
That didn't take place until probably about like 2010. Yeah, again, I was still fresh out of high school. I was probably like 18, 19 at the time. My brother was cutting here at formerly Courtside, and he was cutting here around a lot of dudes, and the crazy thing about it is none of them knew that he rapped until just one moment. They was all kicking it after hours of the shop, and they had some drinks in their system and started playing some music, and it was like voila, man, you know. And eventually my brother just started they started a movement, and my brother just, you know, swept me under the wing with them, and I learned a lot under the two producers that was with them at the time, Trax and Brainstorm. Good dudes, and pretty much I started, like, you know, picking up more and more of skills of producing and whatnot. I would say at that point I started learning more about my craft, and I wanted to pick up more, so I started engaging more into my craft. So I started linking up with Prestige, Dirty Joker, another dude from Manchester, Steve Chennon, dudes from the Hartford area, but they ran musicology sessions and all that, and more and more, man, it just started like growing. It started growing a lot more, and I started gaining more of my love.
So being that said, you know, now that we got a little bit of your background, who would you say is your inspirations? Like, people that inspired you to be more of a better producer, I should say, than what you are, and inspire you just like when you hear something or you hear them, you're like, dang, he made me want to get in, like kind of like a rapper when they hear some bars, they like, let me get in the booth. When you hear a beat, you like, who would you say inspires you?
I would say the first time I caught some inspiration as far as producing, I was a freshman in high school, and it was Cool and Dre. There are two producers that, you know, were doing their own thing with music, but they're affiliated with Khaled and whatnot, but they were on top at the moment. Like, I guess you could say, like, if you'd have compared to now, Metro Boomin is a producer that's
it's
like
the sound, you know,
Metro Boomin's a poppin',
sound,
is a poppin' industry producer right now.
The Chevy Rider High, Chevy Rider High,
yeah. So, you know, I guess those are the dudes that like kind of sparked for me, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, it just eventually gained into, you know, a bigger influences. So Swiss Beats would probably be like my idol overall, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like him and constantly making like bangers and party joints and club joints day in, day out, man, like I gotta tip my hat to him, man. Like that's kind of the move I want to take with a lot of things, you know what I mean? A second coming up to that, I would say A-Rap, man. A-Rap music, man.
Dipset movement.
Yeah. Real influential.
Yep. So, like, who do you like today? Artists or producers? Like, maybe their sound, because, you know, a lot of days it's more about the melody more than the bars nowadays. You know, back in the 90s, it was the bars era. It was the flow. Now this is more the, you know, more the beat. People like the feel good music.
A lot of shit's getting relied on the beats right now.
Exactly.
So if I was to give like who I like that's relevant, producer side, it'd be 808 Mafia. That's Southside, Metro Boomin, TM88, and plus some. So like those dudes are literally like, as far as the market and hip hop, they got it with beats. Like nobody messing with them right now. Nobody, man. Them dudes is pulling off like millions and millions in royalty checks.
Who would you, for rappers, like with the sound right now, like as far as the people coming up, who's hot to you in the game?
If you ask me right about now, like who I like personally.
Yeah, I mean everything's a personal.
Yeah, East. I like Dave East.
Definitely.
Him and Don Q's been in the battle a lot right now, and you know they, you know, Big Sean actually.
Big Sean.
Yeah. I think Big Sean's underrated, man.
Nah, he definitely is. The thing about him is he's one of those guys that he doesn't come out often. So when he does, he's a rapper that he goes over your head. He's not the bland, regular, in-your-face rapper. He's the one you gotta go in that pad. You gotta maybe get them lyrics. You know what I'm saying? But this is an era people don't like to. I remember when I was young back in the day, we used to print lyrics to make sure we knew the song. You know what I'm saying? We went to a friend's house, printed 10 pages, and was like, "Yo, listen, I know this song. Like I know." Nowadays they don't do that. You know. And what's crazy is, any song or most songs on iTunes or whatever come with the lyrics. So it's like you could know the song, you know what I'm saying? But today's music, I definitely understand, like when you're saying it's drawing a blank, because it's like nowadays it's like you could like rappers for so many different reasons. It's not like back then if I say I like the Jada, that I just like the Jada and I have to explain. Now if I say I like Uzi Vert, I gotta say, listen, this is sound. This is, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to be dinosaurs, but at the same time, it's kind of like you gotta give and take. But who would you like to in the future work with, or who you think would be a good person, like you listen to, you like,
one I like for sure. That's like a bucket list, you know. That's something I'm going to achieve. I'm trying to get in the booth in the studio with Kendrick.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm talking about.
That's gotta happen. You know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying? I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. But
of course,
you feel me? I gained my respect for him. You know what I'm saying? Just off like the messages that he's given and what he's been trying to prove. You feel me? Giving like the outside world a look of how he grew up. You know what I'm saying? In rough neighborhoods and not even being affiliated with, you know, the product of his environment, just growing up with it. You know what I mean? Good Kid, Mad City was a perfect example of that. You know what I mean?
He had me there. That was the best. Once I, I'm not gonna say I listened to a lot of him. I had to go, and some people was telling me about, you know, Section 87 or Section 80. Yeah, Section 80. I'm sorry, I said Section 80. I went back after I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, but when I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, it was like a book. Like I could close my eyes, I could listen to it, and I'm like, yo, this is beautiful. Like that was like, the first time I want to say I listened to somebody kind of out my box and was like, that's a platinum album. Like off rip, I was like, that's an album I can listen to tomorrow again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I could definitely understand Kendrick.
Just to see where it would go, I would definitely like want to work with A Boogie.
A Boogie,
yeah. I would just to see where that shit would go.
And again, here we go. That's a perfect example of a new sound. I like that New York movement. I like all of them doing their thing, man.
Absolutely.
The New York.
And it's great to actually, you know, have that come up, because for a long time, like as far as New York or East Coast in general, we're in a dry spell. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't on top, you know, anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see those kind of dudes actually picking up the pace and, you know, bringing it back, because believe it or not, there is, everybody thinks of East Coast or Northeast rap and have a, you know, think of, the first thing that comes to mind is like 90s golden era rap. You know what I'm saying? But there is actually a new sound that's evolving right now. You know what I mean? And slowly but surely, people are gonna pick up on it.
Even within CT, like, you know what I'm saying? I see that the movement is slowly, everybody's coming together. It's maybe not enough of us yet, but just to see it moving in a circle. Like, for instance, just to see, it's a beautiful thing to see you on that Annoyed album, to be able to produce anything on there, knowing that he's not, you know, he's a big thing out of Connecticut right now. I say he's the biggest thing we got right now, as far as musically goes. So that's big for me. Like, just to look at you and sit here and be like, yo, you did something with Annoyed on a big, and it's, you know, his first project, right? Is it his first one?
One of his past projects.
Was it his first or?
It was the Goats project.
Okay, all right,
so it was me, him, and Mike Flows, and we did another past project. I mean, honestly, yo, to be totally like 100 with you, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? So like me, him, and Mike Flows have been working with each other for the longest time. So we have plenty of music that we have never really released yet. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you ask me, the one that shows the biggest presence was the Goats project that him and Mike did together. So that was that one was that one made such a presence to, as far as like Connecticut in general, just to have two lyrical dudes that can rap, but they're just two different type of styles. You feel me? Like it just it shook up a lot. You feel me? That's what ended up getting Mike a freestyle with Front Flex at Hot 97. And that's what ended up getting Goats on First Take all month of March Madness. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that.
That's just, you know, those type of moves, and it made a big ruckus for the state, man.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to get to that in a second. But before we get into that, I wanted to say about that whole movement, getting back to that, you know, that cloud hanging over our head. I was going to ask you, how important is that to you to not only be making music, but to be making the music with, you know, people that per se you care about? Those are like family, those are like brothers to you, because, you know, a lot of people say, you know, they're too cliquey, they're, you know, that's the East Coast, like they say we're too cliquey and we do all that, but at the same time, how important is it to you to be able to make it out the mud with your team? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you and Mike Flows, the whole ironic story, how y'all ran into each other and y'all ran, and that happened. It's like something that's supposed to happen. So at the same time, it's like, how important is it to you to make that happen with both of y'all? Like, for y'all to coexist, you know what I'm saying? To come up together. That's an important thing, I would guess, you know?
Man. When me and Mike came around, it was, I want to say sometime in 2012 or 2013, I bumped into her at a party randomly, you know what I'm saying? And homeboy was just like, I just went up to him like, yo, man, you Mike Flows, right? You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, yeah, yo. Like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like in a sense where he was like almost shocked, because he recently before that he did the freestyle for Hot 93.7. It was like the Winters, the Jingle Jams the freestyle. Yeah, he was in it with like him and Jitta on the track and a couple other dudes. And at that time, I keep it 100, man. I thought his freestyle was better than all of them, better than Jitta's, better than the rest of them dudes on there. Like it just. And he was young. That was like a 17-year-old Mike Flows, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, man, this dude's ill. Who is this cat? You know what I'm saying? And I just happened to recognize his face when we bumped heads, and I'm just like, yo, man, take my number down, man. We should work. You know what I mean? We should do something. You know what I mean? Just holler at me. And it was like a little short time after he hit me up, man. He had no way over here. I was like, fuck it, I'll scoop you, whatever. I took the drive over to Bloomfield, picked him up. came back to my crib, worked on a beat, right? And the beat was like literally, it didn't take me that long to make that beat. It took me no more than like probably 45 minutes. I want to say 45 minutes to make the beat. Had a sample, just did my 1-2 with it, boom, it was done. I was used to a lot of rappers taking their time on my music, you know what I'm saying? So it takes it'll take a rapper or artist maybe a few days or like, you know, a week or so, sometimes weeks to finish a song. And he had it done by the time I was finished with the beat. So I was like, okay, this dude definitely bullshit through my whole beat, but you know, it's like, whatever, man. He's just like, nah, yo, like, you got a program I can record it with? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, pull it up. So I set up my Pro Tools program, and it's just, he gave me a full song, man. And I was like, in awe. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I don't see that often. I don't see dudes that can come up with good quality so quickly. Close to 15 to 20 songs, and it's been less than a month. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, dude, let's drop a tape. You know what I'm saying? So he had a tape that he had in mind called Versace, and I want to say majority of my production was on there with some blends of freestyles and all that. Yeah. And that was like one of the first times I actually like seen like people react off of music that I had something to do with. Okay. You know what I mean? Because his Twitter was popping at the time, like completely booming. Like he get retweets after retweets after retweets. And I'm just like, oh shit, yo. You feel me? Like it started building, man. So little did I even know, like I met Annoyed before I met Mike, but that was like off of like me making a beat for a cypher. And he was happening to be one of the dudes that was on the cypher, and I just thought he was like the dopest dude out of all. You feel me? So I linked to him. He came over here. I made a beat for him, yada yada. But I had no clue. I ain't put two and two together. Like, yo, Noise from Bloomfield, Mike's from Bloomfield. You feel me? They went to high school with each other. Like I didn't know. So of course when like, you feel me? I'm like, yo, feel me? I hit up Mike. I'm like, yo, you should link up with this dude, man. This dude's name is. He's like, yo. I was like, he's dope. This dude's name is Annoyed. He's just like. I know him, man. Like, yo, I was like, when he first started making music, I was like one of the first dudes behind his back. You know what I mean? Trying to get him to get his music out there. Yeah, he's just like, yo, man. What is like? So that was kind of like when they all just started coming over here a lot. And,
so that's how that whole branch. So the Funk Flex situation, you know, for me that's another thing for the city. Yeah. Even CT, but for the city, New Britain, for me that you had a whole play in making that work that was big for the city. So I want you to let people know a little bit, because to me it would seem like it happened in a day. Like literally, I seen something, and then I seen y'all, and then the next thing I know, I seen you over here posting like with Funk Flex. I'm like, yo, these boys move fast.
Within the and then a lot of people like thought the craziest shit, like, oh, well, Mike probably paid for that, and, you know, like, you know,
that's what
they sent some money in,
like start coming back.
I was just like, yo, what are y'all talking about, man? Like, this is crazy. So it was around Christmas of last year. Literally, we dropped. We had a listening party Christmas Eve, and then we had Mike's project King OVK dropped the next day on Christmas. Within that, we dropped the video for Goats that same very day. Okay. And it was, we just thought it was a great marketing plan in some sense. You know what I mean? Like, it was Christmas. You feel me? Ain't nobody doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, you feel me? Hey. It's a new video, Mike flows and Annoyed. He just did his Funk Flex freestyle, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he already had, Annoyed and his people's already had like some type of relationship with Flex at that time. So Annoyed ended up reposting the video on his page, and we didn't know what kind of like influence I was gonna bring upon us. So I wanna say the next day, Mike, he ended up sending me a screenshot. He was like, and it was like his Instagram, but Funk Flex was following him.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's Funk Flex. Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I was like, he's like, yo, bro, like this is it. This is kind of crazy, man. It wasn't until like this was like the day after Christmas, and then it wasn't until later that night Flex messaged Mike and he was like, "Yo, freestyle tomorrow, ready." And this nigga Mike hit me up. He's just like, he usually call me shump. He like Mike's stupid ass. That's like my peanut head little brother. So he got like a million names for me, man. So he's just like, but like I knew it was real because like he hit me. He was like, Marquand, and I'm like, what? He's like, Marquand.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you not about to tell me. He's like, Marquand. I'm like, Mike, I'll punch you in your face right now, dog. Don't play with me. He's like, Marquand. I'm like, nah, yo, dog, stop playing with me. He said, yo, we off to New York tomorrow. Freestyle, flex, 7 o'clock. I was just like, I was in awe, bro.
Yeah,
it was in awe, because it was just like, we worked on the project that he dropped, King OVK, since March of last year until, I want to say, the first week of December. And we had, like, we put a lot of work into that project.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And just to see things make full circle, Noid had his own thing going on, but you feel me, it's okay. You feel me? Like, you feel me? At the end of the day, it was like, you know, he's making the best moves to better himself, and that's totally understandable. You can't, you know, knock no man for doing it. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? Just to get that extra push, you feel me, and you know, him helping us, that was a big lookout upon his end, because to be honest, he didn't have 3 books. Us actually, you feel me, and Mike just doing his job of being a dope ass rapper, you feel me, that stemmed up, you know what I mean, and it brought us to that point. And I'll be honest with you, man, that was like, what, in December? Dudes are still asking us now, how did we do that? You feel me? Like, what plug did we have? Who do we know? I was just like, yo, like, he found us, bro. He found us. My man, one of my dudes, he's from Harlem, and he like does a whole bunch of videography and stuff like that, and left and right. And he's just like, yo, I keep it a buck, man. Your boy Mike Flows, he's nice, man. I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, Flex don't fuck with a lot of niggas. He don't fuck with a lot of dudes, man. And he's disrespectful, to be honest with you. Like,
everybody don't come up here.
Yeah, man. Like, he's like, yo, man. Like, if he think he trash, he's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing in my face?
You see what he?
You know what I'm saying? But he like seen Mike and like respecting him for like, you know, for him being a dope rapper. So, that helped, like, big time, you feel me? And that just, you know, it helped a lot of things that Mike had going for him, and you feel me? We grew, and we tried to strike while the iron was hot, man. So we just kept on making music. We kept, like, we haven't released anything exclusive since King OVK.
Yeah.
But we're on the way with something hot, and it's just like, this is what like all that stemmed from. It's like that's what Mike ended up getting, you know, the freestyle and the ESPN placement, and
everything fell into place. Timing.
Yeah, now we getting like meeting. Now he's getting meetings with label guys now and stuff like that. It's just, you feel me? We trying to work the right situation out for him right now. You feel me? I give this example all the time, but to be honest with you, Pace, which is a noise manager, is a perfect blueprint. This dude he makes sure he leaves out the state once, at least like 2-3 times out the week, in New York for meetings, and you know, doing other things, or at pop shops or SOBs, where, like, you know, it's like somewhat C-B level talent, but it's some important people working the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that you have to do. And the thing about it, he's almost in a sense dry snitching on himself. Not necessarily like in a bad way, but it's like, yo, like, I'm giving you guys the blueprint. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he posts on his Facebook frequently, going on live, him at events with Genius, like the Genius the company, or you know, like big old pop-up shops, and you know, there's important people in there, and it's not even like the artists, it's like the people that work for the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like the execs, or the assistants, or the PRs and things like that. Like, yo, it's here. The information's here, but you guys are being stagnant and staying in Connecticut, where, quite frankly, let's keep it official, the market isn't that great.
You know, exactly. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. That a lot of people aren't using their platform the right way, but they're also not going out and getting that information, because, as you're saying, a lot of this stuff is, I'm pretty sure this is stuff that you got put onto.
Right.
And then you know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, I got put on just like, I was just hungry and looking at somebody, I was asking the right people.
And that's another thing. I mean, it comes down to like how much you actually want this shit. You feel me? Like, I waited at the door for offices for hours.
Yo.
Just to pick dudes' brains. You know what I mean? Like just pick people's brains, trying to figure out how were they able to do certain things. And you know what I'm saying? How would I learn, or how would I be able to give off to, you know, my brother, my brethren and my peoples, you know what I'm saying? So we could pass off and be successful at what we're doing. You feel me? And a lot of dudes are so stagnant with just staying in Connecticut that you're not realizing that you're not going to go nowhere. I'm sorry, but making a post of your music or something like that and tagging 99 of your friends is not gonna get you popping, dog.
True.
It's not gonna get you popping. So it's bad marketing, and it's just like, quite frank, it's disrespectful for your craft.
I don't like it.
You know what I mean? It's disrespectful. It's annoying in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude,
if you do that to me,
there's other ways to let me know that your music is out here. You feel me? Like sometimes you gotta make them sacrifices. You gotta, you know, spend long nights, or you feel me? Like, you know, go hours out your way for a 5-minute meeting. You know what I'm saying? Or you feel me? Spend a lot of bread on something that you don't necessarily have, but you feel me, it could benefit you in a certain way. You know, like dudes are like crazy. Like it's crazy to me because dudes are like acting like they're so unaware of like Facebook sponsoring or social media sponsors, and you know, like people that can literally get your music out where you can't reach it. You know what I mean? Dudes, if you still out here promoting your music on your friend page, you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have fan pages that can extend. Your personal page is only gonna be up to 5,000.
It's like working a dead-end job.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna get as far as you want unless astronomically, you feel me? You can just have some hit that can go stupid viral. Astronomically, yo. You feel me? Like this, I feel like this is a handful that happened probably within the past 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
In the world,
struck by lightning.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you feel me? Like, so again, your chances are kind of slim doing that.
Yeah, I got a better chance of being Floyd Mayweather.
Right, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's
invest in yourself.
Exactly.
You know, like,
but that's the thing. Like, I had the same talk when I was talking to Smooth. A lot of people are scared to invest in themselves because they're scared of rejection. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do. It don't matter, like how we all, you know, there's some things we listen to and we're like, yo, this is the hottest stuff ever. But there's somebody in the world that's like, that's whack.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to us, it's crazy, but it's just not enough people saying it's whack. It's just more people that like it. But that's the thing, you're trying to get more people you're trying to get the good to outweigh the bad, you know? And that's what is success, you know what I'm saying? When your good outweighs the bad, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are scared to bet on themselves because, you know, when you bet on yourself, it's way more hard falling on your face. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have to burn some bridges, or you're gonna have to cross some lakes that you don't want to, and a lot of people don't want to do that. You know, so it's hard. It's anything. As I grow up, I learned swallowing your pride is the biggest thing. If you want to become successful, unless you run into a crazy load of money. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of money, what you think? What's more important to you, ownership or money?
Ownership.
Every day,
Ownership,
right?
man. Money is a paycheck, man. Ownership, you give your parents, you give your kids that money. You give your parents. When you die, you hand it off to your son and your daughter. You feel me? I'm not working for myself. I'm more working for my kids. You feel me? Like, so I could give them something to give off. You feel me? I want to do more as far as like, you know, of course, music is my go-to and it's my love, but I want to do with the gains or the financial earnings or residuals I gain from music. I want to own stuff, own businesses, you know what I mean? So I'm like, when the music is said and done with me, and I'm not big time, whatever no more, you feel me? I got this to fall back on.
Show some with the beat.